What if I told you that the secret to achieving more isn't working harder, but actually doing less? We've all been taught that the way to success is to hustle, but it can feel you leaving numb and burnt out. This is where the balance of soft productivity comes in, and implementing it could completely change how you reach your goals without all of the stress. Hello everyone, welcome back. I am happy that you are here. If you are ready to dive into how to embrace a productive yet soft lifestyle, then let's talk about it. For chapter 1, we are discussing the hustle myth and why it's actually holding you back. Now, I know you've been there before. I have too, where you feel like you're constantly in motion, but not really getting anywhere or getting things done. That right there is the trap of hustle culture. You see, we live in a world where working long hours and always being on has become a badge of honor. You see it glorified everywhere, the endless to-do lists, saying no to everything, saying no to plans, and the constant grind that promises us that success will come if you just keep pushing. But here's the thing I realized, working harder doesn't always mean achieving more. It can actually have the opposite effect. Think about it. Hustling nonstop might feel productive, but at some point it starts working against you. Research actually shows us that working long hours can actually have diminishing returns. The quality of work tends to drop. People who are overworked tend to feel more burnt out and less engaged with what they're actually doing. Because burnout doesn't just make you tired, it drains your creativity, it reduces your focus, and it stops you from being able to perform at your actual best. So even though you're putting in all of these hours, you're not actually getting the results that you want. And what the result is that you feel stuck. Now, I know a lot of people can probably relate to this. You might know someone, or maybe it is you, but you're constantly busy, but not actually moving forward. Guilty. It's like you're spinning your wheels on a muddy road because you're putting in so much time and effort, but you're not actually progressing. That's because hustle culture rarely rewards strategy. It's all about effort, and that's it. And the problem is, effort without direction is just wasted energy. I recently actually heard a phrase that I loved, and it was, if hard work were the only key to success, the donkey would own the farm. Good one. So what we need to understand is that the difference between staying busy and actually being productive. Staying busy is checking off tasks, just feeling like you're doing something, but being productive is about doing the things that actually matter, the things that make you move forward. It's less about how much you're doing and more about how smart and intentional the actions actually are. Now, that is where the concept of soft productivity starts to come in. The idea of a soft life flips hustle culture upside down, because instead of pushing yourself every single day, it's about conserving your energy and focusing on what truly matters. It's prioritizing balance, it's prioritizing well-being, it's prioritizing purpose over grinding endlessly just for the sake of it. It's not about doing nothing at all. And I think people think that. It's about creating a lifestyle that supports success with less stress. This approach takes the pressure off and allows you to work with clarity and ease rather than chaos. So let's move past the hustle mindset and start laying the foundation of success with intention and grace. Now, I feel like I've mastered this from the journey of being pregnant, of living a more softer life, but also being productive. So that is what we're going to be diving into next. In chapter 2, we're covering how to actually work smarter and not harder. There's truly a way to achieve your goals without the non-stop pushing, grinding, and overworking. It's about looking at productivity in a different way. You see, these strategies align with ease and intuition, helping you flow through your tasks rather than constantly forcing them with a mindset of just feeling numb. Now, it may seem too good to be true, but after all, it's because we've been conditioned to believe that success requires constant effort. But if you look closely, some of the most successful women out there aren't stuck in hustle. Instead, they rely on strategies that tend to prioritize their well-being and preserving their energy while also staying focus-driven. This isn't about skipping the hard work entirely or about just not doing anything productive. It's about making intentional choices that lead to better results. Soft productivity emphasizes aligning your goals with your core values and focusing on the small, consistent habits, what's often called micro habits. And if you want a full video on micro habits, let me know in the comments below because I have some really great ones that will change your life. One of the easiest ways to start implementing this is the approach of what I like to call energy matching. It's about pairing tasks with the time of the day that you naturally feel more energized or have more creativity. For example, if you are a morning person and your energy may peak at 10 a.m., that's the time to tackle your most difficult or creative work. Meanwhile, save the simpler, more repetitive tasks for the time that your energy dips. By working with your natural flow of your daily energy, instead of fighting against it, you'll find tasks feel less like a battle and more like a rhythm. Work with your productivity rather than against it. For me personally, my energy peak is late morning. So that's when I'm doing my highest priority work, whether that's work on the computer, whether that's shooting content. And then later in the day, when I have lower energy, it's lower priority tasks. Another cheat code is batching. Let's say you have to send several emails or schedule meetings or creating content for the week. Instead of bouncing around between those tasks, you do them all the similar tasks together in one dedicated, focused chunk of time. Batching minimizes task switching, which tends to slow you down, drain your focus, and typically waste energy anyway. I personally tend to do 1.5 to 2 hour time blocks depending on the task, and then I will take a break. And I usually do 3, sometimes even 4 of those, less since being pregnant. Batching can make an enormous difference on how much you actually get done and the energy you save by doing it too. I recommend even batching regular tasks, not just work things, such as running errands, meal prepping, cleaning. Batch them all together and you will be more productive and be less flitting around. Next, let's talk about setting boundaries because I do believe this plays a big role. It doesn't mean saying no to everything. It means saying no to the wrong things. For example, it's asking yourself, does this align with the outcome that I am working towards? If it doesn't, then maybe it's something that you don't do, or it's something you wait to do. It's being intentional and enjoying your life. It's about leaving room for plans, room for adventures with loved ones and hobbies and trying new things, but also knowing where the line is. And remember, rest isn't a luxury, it's a non-negotiable. When you actually use rest as a tool for productivity instead of something to feel guilty about, because I used to do that a lot, it can help you improve your focus. It can help you show up to the things that you need to with more energy. Next, let's talk about the power of simplifying. A helpful trick is called the lazy girl efficiency rule. They always say, if you want the simplest way to get something done, ask a lazy person. So ask yourself, what's the simplest way to make this happen? Automation is a great one. Automatically paying bills, setting up grocery deliveries, creating templates for repeated tasks, doing things that save your time and your energy. It not only streamlines your routine, but it frees up mental space for bigger goals, more important things to be done. Combining this with the one decision rule, where you make one decision to avoid tons of other smaller decisions, can transform your productivity. So here's an example. Meal prepping. I love it. Me and my husband do it every single week. It helps because I make one decision, so I don't need to make 7 decisions of what to eat for dinner every single week, and for lunch too. Now, faith and intuition are often overlooked when it comes to productivity, but they deserve some credit. Sometimes stepping back from overanalyzing everything can help you make better decisions. Intuition lets you trust your inner compass, helps you guide with what's feeling aligned without necessarily overthinking. In my eyes, when you blend intuition with faith and trusting God's plan and timing, it helps you move forward even when you don't see immediate results. I do actually have a full video on how to trust God's plan and timing and letting him lead. So if you haven't already watched that, I will leave it linked in the description below. Ultimately, soft productivity is about releasing the idea that doing more equals achieving more. You don't need chaos or endless effort to build a life that you love. It's about starting to trust yourself, build habits rooted in intention, and redefining what productivity actually looks like. Chapter 3, let's talk about creating intentional, productive days with a soft life framework. Because some people I know, like, your days are go, go, go. So let's talk about how you can just soften it a little bit. First thing I want to talk about is how easy it is to let things pile up. Now, it often feels like everything is urgent and important, and before you know it, you're juggling multiple tasks, and even figuring out where to start can be exhausting, and it comes down to the lack of prioritization. It's stressful and it drains your energy. Okay, so every time that you have to decide what's next, you are using mental bandwidth. It's called decision fatigue, and it's basically one of the biggest obstacles that can stop you from staying focused and actually getting things done. So you need to learn to prioritize what you're doing. Now, next is the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to do, you do not save it for later. You handle it straight away. Simple things like replying to a short email, putting away a dish, hanging something up instead of putting it on the floor. It seems small, but it prevents all of the tiny little tasks from crowding in your mind. Then there's also the must, should, could framework, which I think is awesome. It basically helps you with that prioritization and organizing your tasks into what absolutely must get done today, what should you try to tackle, and what could you do if time is left. It helps you to focus on things that truly matter instead of spreading yourself thin and having no priorities of what the day needs to be consumed of. Another powerful technique is time blocking. It is dividing your day basically in chunks of time where you have certain slots for certain types of work. For example, reserve deep focus time for work in the morning, followed by a short break, and then later, it's blocking time for your meetings or your brainstorming sessions. For example, when I was in real estate, my time block in the morning was purely lead generation. And then I had time blocks in the afternoon for appointment setting, and then time blocks in the afternoon for when I would actually go and meet people. But time blocking the schedule worked so well. So let me give you an example of this, of how it can all look in a soft life framework. You start your day with your morning routine. You set your purposeful tone with prayer, meditation, journaling. It helps you get in the right mindset to be intentional rather than reactive. After that, you're moving into your high energy work. This is your high priority work block. This is where you get the tasks done that require focus and creativity. It's when your peak energy is up. Then in the afternoon, when your energy might naturally dip, you focus on work that are lighter tasks, responding to emails, organization, planning, things like that. By the evening time or late afternoon, you set time for hobbies. You set time for doing cleaning or making dinner or doing some things that you actually enjoy to do. You see, routines play a huge role too. When we create habits like starting the day with a reflection or starting the day with our movement, you know I swear by it. It's about building consistency into your life, because these routines do not have to be elaborate. They don't need to be an hour long, no matter what they are. It can be something that you just do every single day that allows you to be productive, but you know what is coming up. So you tend to be more swift with it rather than moving around to multiple different things. It creates rhythm, it creates predictability. So you're not just constantly reinventing the approach every single morning. Next, I want to talk about limiting distractions. Social media is one of the easiest traps to fall into. So if you have not already, first of all, turn off all of your notifications completely. No icons whatsoever, no notifications. Something that I also noticed that I would do is that I would automatically, when I open my phone, I would go to my email app to check for new emails, when I didn't need to be doing that unless it was in that certain block of time that I set for that in the day. So what I now do is I will usually once a month I will move my home screen around so I don't have that automatic open the phone and go on something like that. For you, it could be TikTok. Another thing I did is set a rule that I'm not allowed to go on TikTok unless it's after 5 p.m. unless I'm going on there to make or post a video. Made a huge difference throughout the day, because I would constantly pick up my phone, just go on it and I'm walking around for 5 minutes. No, set the boundaries. Now, productivity also is not just about work. So something I want to touch on here is prioritizing wellness. You need to make time. You need to make time for making meals, for prioritizing things that nourish you. There's actually a saying that says if you don't make time for your wellness, you'll end up making time for your illness, which is really true, but also sad. Health is the foundation of productivity, and it's what allows you to bring your best self into your work and your life. If you want more videos on wellness and health and fitness or anything like that, let me know in the comments below, because I truly do love talking about things like this. And so I will be happy to make some more videos and create some more content based on overall wellness and well-being. At the end of the day, living a soft life doesn't mean doing less. It means doing what matters most with intention and grace. It's about aligning your efforts with values and focusing on the actions that actually make the greatest impact while respecting your well-being. I'm currently now over 8 months pregnant, and I realized, because I have very limited energy and capacity for things to do, I got extremely good of cutting out the things that were actually wasting my time and only focusing on the things that were important and move the needle in my work and my business and everything else. And all of these things helped me to do so. So I want to know in the comments below, what's one thing that you plan on doing to create a more soft but productive life and schedule? Let me know in the comments below. All right, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and joining the family, as it really helps support this channel. And if you like this video, then you'll definitely enjoy this one next. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.